When retelling the story of the dismissal of Gough Whitlam by John Kerr, it is awfully falsely framed as a dichotomy of either you are in the pro-Labour, pro-Whitlam camp or the pro-Kerr, anti-Whitlam camp, and therefore there is some political side-taking that you can do in this, where one person was right and the other person was scorned unfairly. But the truth is, everyone in this crisis had some problematic behaviour, and criticising one is not a defence of the other. A few days after the deferral of supply by the Senate, the crisis had begun in October. Kerr asked Whitlam, "Hey, am I allowed to consult with the Chief Justice of the High Court, Barwick?" And Whitlam said no. Whitlam was like, "No, you can take advice from me, the Prime Minister, or, the Attorney General, another minister." But also it's like normal for the Governor General to consult with the Chief Justice or some other prominent legal figure because, they are meant to uphold and defend the Constitution. You should probably ask someone with an understanding of the Constitution how to best exercise your job. Now, the advice that Kerr wanted was to confirm whether or not he was allowed to use the reserve powers to resolve the crisis. Barwick said yes. So, while yes, usually the Governor-General is meant to act on the advice of the Prime Minister, we can see in this particular instance that the advice of the Prime Minister was unreasonable. It's not the Prime Minister's job to tell the Governor-General, "Don't talk to that person, listen to me, not them." Barwick wasn't the only person that Kerr talked about the crisis with and the reserve powers. He also talked with another Justice of the High Court, Mason. Now, Mason told him, yes, you can use the reserve powers to dismiss the government if the crisis requires it. But, very importantly, first you should warn Whitlam that you're going to use the reserve powers. And before you're like, well, no, Kerr would be fired immediately if he told Whitlam that he was considering dismissing him. No, literally impossible. Whitlam couldn't just pick up the phone and advise the Queen to dismiss Kerr. He had to do it in writing, which meant that Kerr would have literally days, as the letter had to travel over the ocean for Kerr to act, at which point he could immediately dismiss Whitlam, which he did later as a surprise, which means that Kerr had nothing to worry about. Instead, he should have warned Whitlam, because warning Whitlam would have told him, you are at the end of the line of this political crisis, find a solution, or face dismissal. Which is why previous governments, when faced with a crisis, have been warned and then either found a solution or resigned before being dismissed. So yeah, it's not like this is a black and white morality play where one character good, one character bad. These people took a flawed approach to the crisis, both of them. Whitlam overstepped his authority as Prime Minister to boss the Governor-General around, and Kerr took legal advice that he picked and chose and then entirely disregarded the parts that he didn't want.